Good day, everyone. I am Sir Robbie, and together, we will learn the word of the future, robotics. Did you know that here in Educational Technology Unit, robotics is a priority to make every Filipino learners and teachers competent and meet the demands of the future global scene? Wherein teachers, students, and parents who wanted to learn robotics is just a click away for free. Robotics is an interdisciplinary field which integrates computer science and engineering. It involves design, construction, operation, and use of robots to assist human activities. Are you ready for this transformation? Soon in ICTS Educational Technology Unit. Come and join us and love the future para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETULay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETULay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETULay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Tutor Eric.
Ayan, good afternoon po, Ma'am Wendy.
Yes, welcome po sa ating ETULay online tutorial for General Biology 1. Tutor
Ayan.
Eric, kamusta po? Kamusta po ang hapon ninyo?
Ayan, okay naman, Ma'am Wendy. Kagaling ko lang po sa class this afternoon. Pero dahil always tayong ready para sa ating mga students, ayan, go pa rin po tayo dito sa ating ETULay session this afternoon.
Yes, tama nga po, Sir Eric. Kasi di ba, ngayon ay first day din ng pagbubukas ng klase sa mga public schools. Kaya i-welcome din natin yung ating mga students sa first day of classes. So si Sir Eric, alam ko kanina may online class siya.
Ayan. Yes po, Ma'am
Welcome muna
Wendy.
natin, sir.
Ayan. Good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tutor Eric, and I am saying that learning biology is fun and terrific.
And I am Tutor Wendy, and I believe general biology will come in handy.
And together, let us explore life's mystery here at ETULay for General Biology 1.
Okay. So, for quarter 1, week 1, our topic in general biology 1 is the cell theory and the parts of the cell. Okay, so again, ako po ang inyong tutor Wendy, kasama ko po si tutor Eric, at kami ang inyong magiging guide sa general biology. Every Monday po yan from 4:40 to 5:20. So, bago po tayo magsimula ng ating tutorial, check muna natin kung ready na tayo. So, ready your pens and papers so you can jot down notes. Listen, learn, and participate. So, gamitin naman po natin yung ating mga reaction buttons. So, like and heart, and share na rin po natin itong ating session. And pwede nyo pong gamitin ang mga comment box natin to participate in our activities at kung gusto ninyo na ma-shoutout namin kayo. And then, lastly, respect one another. So, sabi nga, since simula ito ng ating linggo, simulan natin siya with positive vibes. Now, Tutor Eric, ano ba ang ating mga learning competencies para sa linggong ito?
Ayan. Para sa ating learning competencies for General Biology 1 Week 1, at the end ng ating tutorial, dapat kayong mga learners ay you should be able to explain the postulates of the cell theory, and you should be able to describe the structure and function of the major and subcellular organelles of the cell.
Okay, so magsimula tayo with an activity para naman magising ang ating mga brain cells. At saka syempre, review na rin natin ito kung ano yung mga dati pa nating natutunan sa cell, about the cell. Kasi na-discuss na rin naman sa atin yan during our junior high school. So, in our activity, we are going to recreate the cell discovery timeline. So, ang gagawin nyo lang dito ay you will have to complete statements by filling in the missing terminologies. Now, remember, etong mga statements na to, these are historical events na nag-led sa discovery ng ating cells. So, ready na kaya ang ating mga viewers? So, bago tayo magsimula, ayan, nakikita ko ang dami nating viewers. Hi po kay Ma'am Rebecca Ortiz. Ma'am ba siya? Or sorry, baka po siya ay student. Okay, Shalene Barotas. At kay Ma'am Unica Iha, hello po. Yan ay aking co-teacher sa Tansa National Trade School Annex. So, ready na po ba ang lahat? Sir Eric, ready ka na ba sa activity natin?
Ayan. Yes po,
Ready
Ma'am
na ba?
Wendy. At
Okay.
syempre po, good
Na
afternoon
natin.
din po kay Ma'am Janet at kay Ma'am Antoinette. Ayan po. At
Ayan,
saka
hello
kay
po
Sir
sa
Teo.
lahat.
Good afternoon po sa inyo. Mapagpalang hapon.
Yes
Ayan,
po,
pati po
sali
kay
po
Ma'am
kayo ha,
Lisel. Good
sali kayo sa
afternoon.
activity. Okay? So, start na po tayo sa ating activity. Our first historical event occurred in the 1590s. So, Zacharias Janssen, a Dutch eyeglass maker, invented the very first blank. So, for our clue, it is an instrument used to magnify small objects. So, ano po kaya ito? Comment your answers po. So, comment your answers.
Ayan, huwag po kayo
Shoutout
mahiya. Let us
Teo.
comment your
Shoutout
answers.
kay Teo, kay Antoinette, watching from Malabon City. So, wala pa po akong nakikitang comment. Ano po kaya ang answer natin dito sa ating unang statement? So, proceed
Ayan,
tayo.
bigay din ako na isang clue, ma'am. Kasi di ba ito
sure.
ay napag-aralan itong laboratory instrument na ito nung grade 7. Merong particular na
Yes,
topic ito
correct.
of the same quarter. Ano kaya ito? Ayan, at meron na akong nakitang sagot at ang unang
Ayan.
sumagot ay si Shalene. Ayan, ang sagot niya ay microscope. Pati si Antoinette is microscope din ang sagot.
Okay, so ang gagaling naman ng ating mga viewers ngayon. So the answer is microscope. Now, for the second event, this one occurred in 1665. Now, while looking at a piece of cork under the microscope, Robert Hooke saw box-shaped structures that he called blank. So it is the basic unit of structure and function in living things. Okay, so ano po kaya ang sagot dyan? So type your answers in our comment box.
Ayan, comment lang kayo ng kung ano ang na-discover na ito ni Robert Hooke. Ayan, ma'am, may mga sumasagot pa rin po tayo
Ayan, very good
ng
talaga ang
microscope
viewers.
mula doon sa ating first question. Ayan, sige po,
alam
kahit
nila yun,
po
eh.
na
Ayan.
kahit po
Sir,
nalagpasan na
meron na
natin yung
tayo?
question, sagot lang po kayo. Ayan,
Meron na tayo. May
meron na
nakita
pong sumagot. Si Antoinette ulit ang nakita ko sumagot at ang answer niya ay ang cell. Meron din
Okay,
po akong
tingnan natin.
nakitang nag-answer po
Next.
dito ng cork. Pero ang cork po, yung specimen na kung saan kinuha ni Robert Hooke yung tinitingnan niya under the microscope. Ayan, at ang
Okay.
sagot po ng ating mga learners ay cell.
Yan, ang gagaling talaga, no? Kasi nga, napag-aralan na natin to dati. Kaya alam na alam yan ng ating mga viewers today. Okay, so proceed tayo. In 1674, blank, while looking at pond water under the microscope, observe what he called animal cues. Ang clue natin para sa person na to, he is known as the father of microbiology. Yan.
Ayan.
Maganda yung clue na yan.
Scientist ang hinahanap natin ngayon.
So pag sinabing father of microbiology, sino kaya yan? Bilisan natin mga keyboard warriors. Type lang tayo ng ating mga answers. So kanina sir, sumagot din si Danver, si Almarie, hello po. Si Corinne, ayan, ang gagaling. So cell daw ang kanilang sagot kanina.
Sagot kanina.
So
Yes,
viewers
and
natin
pati
from
si
Davao pa.
Corinne ay, yes.
Yes. Ayan sir,
Ayan,
meron na.
nakita ko
Nakita ko
na
na.
sumagot si Brian.
Okay.
Ayan, ang
So anong
sagot
kanyang
ni
sagot?
Brian ay si Anton Van Leeuwenhoek. And same with
Okay.
Mark Allen and Elena and Drew, Anton Van Leeuwenhoek ang kanilang sagot.
Okay. So that is
Ayan.
correct.
Thank
So
you
we
very
have
much.
Anton Van Leeuwenhoek. So medyo natagalan siguro sila mag-type sir, 'di ba? Kasi ang haba-haba naman ang pangalan ng ating scientist na ito. So
Yes.
nakita niyo itong mga animal cues na to, gamit din yung sarili niyang gawang microscope. Okay. So let's proceed to the next. So 1838, Matthias Schleiden, a German botanist, stated that blanks are made up of cells. So for our clue, what do botanists study? Napakadali nito, di ba? Ano ang pinag-aaralan ng mga botanists? Ano ang sinilip ni Schleiden? Under the microscope at nakakita daw siya ng cells.
Ayan, ano mga ba ang pinag-aaralan ng mga botanist? Siyempre,
Kaya
hindi ito
nga.
bota, di ba?
So, botany is
Ayan.
a branch of biology.
Biology at ang pinag-aaralan doon, ang sabi ni Corinne ay plants. Sabi din ni
Okay,
CJ
so very good.
at ni Drew ay plants.
Okay, very good talaga ang ating mga students. Okay, so magkasabay halos itong discoveries na to. 1839 naman, we have Theodor Schwann, a German physiologist. He concluded that blanks are also made up of cells. So examples of this includes mammals, birds, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, and insects. Okay? So halos magkapanabayan itong dalawang scientists. Actually, sabay talaga sila, no? But they were studying different organisms. So, dito naman, ano kaya? Okay, so nakita ko, ang kauna-unang sumagot ay si CJ Custodio at ang kanyang sagot ay animals. So, very good. So, very good guys. Si Corinne din. Si Corinne laging tama. Ano? Very good talaga.
Animals.
Laging tama. And then, last one. Last significant event, 1855. We have Rudolf Virchow. He stated that cells come from pre-existing cells through blank. So this is the process by which a parent cell divides into two or more daughter cells. Okay, so anong process to? So napaka-groundbreaking din itong ginawa ni Virchow na ito eh. Yung sabi niya, cells come from pre-existing cells. Mamaya malalaman natin kung bakit siya groundbreaking. Okay? Meron na ba tayong sagot?
Ayan, so far ma'am, may mga sumasagot pa rin po ay animals.
Oo nga.
Ayan, meron na pong sumagot at ang sabi ni CJ ay cell division. Yes,
so
cell
very
division
good.
po ang ating answer.
Correct. Okay? So, ang gagaling naman po ng ating mga viewers. Napakasarap mag-tutorial kapag ganito yung tinuturuan mo. No? Napakagagaling nila. Napakahuhusay. No? So, let us not forget the works of these scientists, si Janssen, si Hooke, si Leeuwenhoek, Schwann, Schleiden, and Virchow. Napaka-historical, napaka-significant na mga discoveries nila. Kasi sila ang nag-lay down ng foundation sa isa sa mga fundamental, isa sa mga pinaka-importanteng theory sa biology, ang cell theory. So this is our main topic, one of our main topics for today. Okay? So the cell theory was first proposed in the mid-19th century. Okay? So it was made of three postulates. So the first postulate states that all living things are made up of cells. So this is from the observation of Schleiden and Schwann. Diba kanina nga dun sa ating review, sabi sila yung nagsabi na plants and animals are made up of cells. So during those time, hindi pa naman kompleto yung mga pag-aaral about all the living organisms. So most of the time, associated lang ang living things either as plant and animals. So since nakita nga nila na cells ang plants and then cells ang animals, so they concluded that all living things are made up of cells. And also based from this observation, nabuo naman yung ating second postulate. So the second postulate states that cells are the basic unit of structure and function in an organism. So, Tutor Eric lagi sinasabi, the building block of life. Di ba? Building block of life daw ang cells. Okay?
Cells.
At saka, yung mga biological process, nangyayari in the cellular level. Okay?
Level. Hello, good
Yes.
afternoon, Tutor Wendy.
Hi! Hello,
I'm
Tutor
in.
Tony! Yes!
Kakatapos ko lang po sa Earth and Life Science. So,
Oo
good
nga,
afternoon
talaga.
po.
Good afternoon,
Ayan, so good
Tutor
afternoon po
Tony.
sa inyong lahat. Mabilis na pagbati lang po. I'm
Okay.
Sir Tony from SDO Quezon City, the Program Head of Senior High School Science Department. Ayan. So I think
Ayan. Hello, Sir Tony.
nakapag-discuss na po si Tutor Wendy at Tutor Eric. So hindi ko na po kayo na-welcome naman. Pasensya na po. Medyo
Ako, kailan sir,
na-late na
talagang
tayo ng
ano ka
transition.
ngayon eh, ang tawag dyan ay lagare.
Lagari.
Lagare talaga. Ano? Tsaka, thank you sir, pumasok ka pa rin dito para suportahan kami ni
Yes po.
Tutor
Opo.
Eric. Okay po. So,
And I think very active ang ating mga participant as early as
yes
now,
sir.
ma'am, no?
Ay, grabe sir. Napakadaling mag-tutor kapag ganito ang mga estudyante mo.
Oo, punong-puno, tamang-tama sa subject natin, biology, the study of life.
Yes
Punong-puno
po.
sila ng buhay this afternoon.
Yes
So we
po,
are
meron
now,
ka. Ang dami nating viewers sir from Davao.
yan,
From
yes po, lagi po
Davao.
yung suki, laging nakasuporta po
Yes,
yan sa
hello,
mga
hello,
programa
hello
ng
po.
DepEd EdTech Unit. So maraming salamat po.
Hello po sa inyong lahat. So, tuloy na po tayo, Tutor
Yes, let's
Tony.
proceed po. What is the
Okay.
third?
So, the third postulate, cells come from pre-existing cells. So, sabi nga natin, ang nagbigay ng postulate na to is Rudolf Virchow. Meron siyang famous saying, omnis
Yes.
cellula e cellula. This is Latin. At ang literal translation niya is, cells come from cells. So, sabi ko kanina, groundbreaking itong kanyang postulate. Kasi, Tutor Tony, dati merong popular belief na ang life daw pwedeng manggaling from non-life.
Non-living, oo.
Non-living. Now, nung binigay ito ni Rudolf Virchow, nagbago ngayon yung paniniwala ng mga tao nung panahon na yon. Okay? So, ngayon po, as technology develops,
Advances and develops.
yes, nagde-develop na siya, nagkakaroon na ng mga magagandang gamit ang ating mga scientists, lalong naging deeper,
Especially
yung
the
mga
development of microscope, ma'am, no?
yes, oo. Alam
From
niyo sir,
simple,
yung microscope, trending talaga sa kanila yan nun eh. Gustong-gusto nila yung microscope.
Opo. Kumbaga, yung focus nila sa discovery in terms of kasi na-curious sila sa microorganisms and in particularly yung composition ng mga cells po. Ayan. So we have
a modern version, sir, because of the new discoveries of our scientists.
Kumbaga, nag-level up, ma'am.
The modern cell
ETULay.
theory.
Parang
pero,
ETULay lang, ma'am, nag-level up, no?
Ano to, season 2. Season 2 na to ng cell theory, di ba, sir?
Yes,
no? So, yung modern cell theory, nandoon pa rin yung tatlong naunang postulates ni Schwann, Schleiden, and Virchow. Nadagdagan lang po siya ng tatlo. Okay? Parang inano lang nila, ni-reinterpret. Okay? So, the fourth postulate states that cells carry genetic material which is passed from cell to cell during cell division. So, yan po yung ating DNA from the parent cell that is passed on to the daughter cells. And now, the fifth is all cells are basically the same in structure and chemical composition. And this holds true kapag daw po ang mga organisms ay nagbibilong sa same species. Okay? And then, the last one, energy flow in the form of biochemical processes occurs within the cell. So, ang example po ng ating mga biochemical processes, we have metabolism, we have photosynthesis, and we have cellular respiration. So, yan na po lahat yung ating 6 postulates. From the original 3, nadagdagan pa siya ng bago na 3 pa. So, that is our cell theory. Now, Tutor Tony, moving on.
Yes po.
Yes, tignan naman natin.
We are now ready to examine and investigate the different cell structures. So kung sa mga senior high school natin, I think naaral nyo to during your grade 7 and grade 8, di ba? You were able to study the different organelles or structures of the cell. So babalikan lang natin and of course, i-deepen natin yung understanding nila, Tutor Wendy, right?
Yes, yes, Tutor Tony. So on the left, you have an illustration of the animal cell, and on the right, you have the plant cell. So mapapansin nyo sa loob, there are other structures, and it is called, sabi nga kanina ni Tutor Tony, these are organelles. Ang literal meaning ng organelles ay little
Little
organs.
organs.
Organs. So these are specialized structures found within the cell. They have specific functions. And kapag hindi sila nag-function because it is vital to cellular life, maaring mamatay yung ating cell. So, Tutor Tony,
Correct.
titignan natin yan mga bawat organelle lang isa-isa. So, titignan natin
Mm.
sila lahat and we are going to start from the outside. So, when you say
Yes.
from the outside, ano ba ang una nating iisipin?
Of course,
It
it is
will
the cell
Okay.
membrane or the plasma membrane.
Yes. So we have our first organelle, which is the cell membrane. So the cell membrane is a thin double layer of protein and fat. So ang kanyang main component is phospholipid, proteins, and cholesterol. So ano
Cholesterol,
kaya
right?
ang functions ng ating cell membrane?
Since siya yung pinaka-outermost, I think ano kayang ano niya, ginagawa niya. So it
Okay.
separates the inner contents of the cell, of course, with its environment.
Yes. So sir, it acts as a barrier, no? Pangharang siya and protection na rin siya ng ating cell. Kaya nga nagiging distinct cell din siya, di ba sir? Kasi
Yes.
meron siyang cell membrane. Okay, and then it also regulates the passage of materials in and out of the cell. So, siya po yung nagde-decide kung ano ba yung mga materials that can enter
And
or can
exit.
leave the
Relate
yes.
natin lang sa ano, parang sa face-to-face, di ba, classes. Kapag
Mm-mm.
pumapasok yung mga estudyante natin, ayan, sino bang una niyong nakikita sa school? Siyempre, ang mga security guards natin. So, hello,
Yes.
kaway-kaway po tayo sa ating mga magigiting na security personnel, hindi lamang sa ating mga schools, of course, sa different establishments, Ma'am Wendy, di ba? So,
Yes, sir.
napaka-importante.
Alam mo nga, sir, mas famous pa sa atin si Manong Guard eh. Di ba sa
Yes,
totoo lang?
kilala.
Yes.
Kilala.
Sa lahat ng estudyante, kilala si Manong Guard, no?
Okay.
So, sa cell, ang Manong Guard
Ah.
natin ay si
Si cell membrane.
membrane. Okay, so,
Taga-check na mga papasok at lalabas.
yes. At sir,
Alright.
nagagawa niya yan because it has a unique characteristic. Ang tawag dun ay semi-permeability.
Permeable. Okay. So, semi-permeability. So, after
Now-
cell membrane, what else do we have, ma'am?
Okay, so cell membrane found in both animal and plant
Animal and
cells.
plant cell.
Yes, next we have the cell wall. So the cell
Okay.
wall is a rigid membrane surrounding plant cells made up mostly of cellulose. Okay, so ano kaya ang function niya? Tutor Tony.
Yes, so it is a rigid membrane, no? It gives the cell, especially the plant cells, no? The protection, the support, and structure. So, kumbaga, ang mga plantitos tsaka plantitas natin, malulungkot kapag may nangyari sa ating cell wall.
Yes, sir. Kasi nga sabi rigid, no? It maintains the plants, it makes the plants stiff and upright. Kaya nakatayo yung mga halaman natin, di ba, Sir Tony? Dahil sa cell wall. Kahit
Yes.
malambot yung stem niya, makikita nyo nakatindig pa rin yung halaman, di ba, no, sir?
Kahit,
So, it is only found in, sabi
plant
kanina,
cell.
plant cell. So, additional protection siya, sir, aside from the cell membrane.
Membrane. So, may cell membrane na, may cell wall pa as additional
Yes.
protection and support. What's next,
At
Ma'am
isa pa-
Wendy?
Yes
Ay,
po.
sorry po.
Ay, oh.
Sorry po.
moving on tayo, sir.
Sige, ma'am.
We have the nucleus.
All right,
So
the
the
nucleus.
A membrane-bound spherical body discovered by Robert Brown in 1831.
One.
Okay. Yes. So, ito, familiar na familiar din yung ating mga students dito, lalo na yung ating mga G11 kasi G10 pinag-aaralan nila yung nucleus na yan eh dahil dahil sa central dogma yung
Yes,
ating
tama.
replication, transcription,
Transcription,
and translation. So,
Translation. And the nucleus functions as the storage of our DNA or the deoxyribonucleic acid. Very important, of course, para sa reproduction ng mga living organisms at saka
Yes.
sa identity kasi dyan naka-embed ang unique characteristics ng bawat organisms.
nandiyan
It
lahat
also-
ng hereditary information natin, sir.
Tama. That's the hereditary information. It also controls and regulates different cell activities. Kumbaga siya yung the brain, di ba? It controls and regulates everything that happens in the cell. And finally, it controls the synthesis or yung production ng ating mga ribosomes na very important sa paggawa naman ng ating mga protein molecules. So that
Yes,
is
Tutor
your
Tony.
nucleus.
So speaking of ribosomes, Sir Tony,
Yes po.
may nakita pa silang isang organelle inside mismo nung nucleus, and that is
Okay.
our nucleolus.
Okay.
So very related ito sa ating ribosome kasi nga siya ang in charge sa production ng ribosome. So it assembles the ribosomes from proteins and ribosomal RNA. Okay? So both the nucleus and the nucleolus is found in animal cells and
And
plant cells.
plant cells.
Yes. Now, si ribosome, Tutor Tony, pagkatapos niyang ma-assemble sa ating nucleolus, lalabas na yan ng nucleus and pupunta siya sa cytoplasm where it can perform its function. So, eto po
Function. Ayan na si ribosome.
Yes. So, ang description sa kanya, Tutor Tony,
It is a large complex of protein and RNA, of course, and it functions, ma'am.
so the function
Ayan.
is site of protein synthesis. So pag sinabi yung complex, ibig sabihin different structures joined together. Kaya pag tinignan nyo yung ating illustration, it has a large subunit attached to a smaller subunit. Alam mo ba, Tutor Tony, medyo ano tong si ribosome, maraming bali-balita sa kanya kasi yung iba
Naku.
hindi daw siya organelle.
Yes,
Sabi
other
ng
scientists consider it as an organelle while others a
Yes.
structure or a special kind of
Oo.
structure
Kasi
lang.
daw, wala daw siyang membrane. Ang sabi, pag daw organelle, dapat membrane bound, Tutor Tony.
Oo, yes.
Pero sabi naman nung iba, napaka-importante kasi ng role na ginagawa niya
Yes.
bilang site of protein synthesis.
Protein
Kaya
synthesis.
dapat i-consider natin siya as an organelle.
Organelle. So, kaya
Kanina
sinama
ba
natin
yung
si ribosome.
so, ito yung ating role ng ribosome sa protein synthesis. So, dinidecode niya yung information from the messenger RNA.
RNA.
Yes, dinadirect niya yung assembly ng proteins from the amino acids. So, ang ating ribosome
they're very
present
small but
in the animal.
they're very small but they perform a very essential function sa cell natin, Ma'am Wendy, di ba?
Yes, oo. Kaya nga, Tutor Tony, sabi ng iba, organelle siya dahil siya ay mahalaga. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So, our
Ayan.
next organelle na tayo, Tutor Tony.
Oo, we are
We
now
have
ready.
the mitochondria.
Ayan.
Tutor
If you will
Tony,
notice,
tingnan mo nga, ano itsura
mukha
niya?
parang siyang ano, ma'am, parang beans or sausage. Yes,
Oo.
nakakagutom.
Yes, nagutom na, no? Dahil sa lagari ngayon si Tutor Tony. Ang nakita niya ay beans or sausage. Tama
Sausage.
naman. Oo. Kaya,
At sa,
pag dinidescribe nga siya, Tutor Tony, sabi, double membrane, rod shape, or yung parang oval organelle. So,
yes,
napaka-unique po ni mitochondria. In fact, it
Because
has its own DNA.
DNA. O, diba?
Yes, so aside from the DNA na nasa loob ng nucleus, may sariling DNA si mitochondria. So, nakakagawa siya ng sarili niyang enzyme at nakakagawa rin siya ng sarili niyang protein. Yung mga kailangan niya ba, sir, sa kanyang
on its
function.
own. Oo, yes.
Yes.
And of course,
Mahalaga
function,
function niya.
it produces the chemical energy. So, sa kanya lang naman nakasalalay, ma'am, ang enerhiya, di ba? The energy that will sustain and power up every cell in our body or in every living organism. So once again, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell because it produces the chemical energy needed to power the cell in the form of adenosine triphosphate or the ATP. Yun.
Yes.
So that's your mitochondria found both in, of course, animal cell at saka plant cell.
So, sometimes, Tutor Tony, merong mga cells na napakarami lang mitochondria, lalo na yung mga
I
very
agree.
active. Yung mga very active, yung kailangan ng maraming energy. So, when you think of active cells,
muscle cells, ayan, mga muscle cells natin,
yan,
ma'am,
kasi
it needs,
nagko-contract, relax. Yes, Tutor Tony. And of course, yung kilalang-kilala mga estudyante, yung napakalikot na cell, which is the
sperm cell.
yes. So,
Ayun.
marami rin yung mitochondria kasi kailangan niya ng maraming
Energy para makapag-travel siya, although para ma-meet niya ang kanyang Juliet, 'di ba? So si Romeo
Yes,
tsaka si
medyo
Juliet,
malayo kasi yung kanyang destination, 'di ba,
ang
sir?
kanyang
Kaya
travel,
kailangan
ma'am, ay medyo mahaba-haba papunta sa
kaya
ano, sa kanyang Juliet, ang egg cell. So the sperm cell
yes.
needs a good amount of mitochondria.
Ayan, correct, sir. So, sir, tumitingin ako sa ating comment box.
Sige, ma'am.
Mukhang isang section
Very
ang
active,
nanonood sa atin.
oo.
Yes, isang
Section
buong section.
Andromeda.
Yes, hello
Shout
sa
out sa
section
ating
ng
mga
Andromeda.
Section Andromeda. Napaka-universal, napaka-galactic ng name ng section nyo.
Kaya nga. Grade 12, no, sir, grade 12. So,
Grade
hello
12,
din sa teacher
ayan.
ninyo. Baka ni-require sila ng kanilang teacher na manood sa
Yes,
atin.
thank
Hello
you very
po,
much
hello
po. Shout out
po.
nyo yung teacher ninyo later ha, para ma-acknowledge natin. Let's proceed now, ma'am,
Yes.
with the next
Okay,
organelle, which is
so
the
we have the endoplasmic reticulum. ER na lang yan for short kasi ang haba-haba lagi ng pangalan niya, no? So it is a
ER.
series, yes, a series of interconnected membranous sacs and tubules. So mapapansin ninyo, connected po siya dun sa outer membrane ng ating nucleus. So this is
Nucleus.
the nucleus. Sana nakikita niyo yung aking yung purple. And this is the ER. Now there are two types. We have the rough ER and the smooth ER. Magkaiba po ang function ng dalawang yan. So, also
Yes.
found in both animal and
Animal and plant
plant cells.
cell.
So, Tutor Tony, bakit kaya rough? No?
Okay.
Magaspang.
So, merong isang ano dyan, kumbaga importanteng structure na nakakabit. And as seen on your screen, it is bombarded. Yes, bombarded. May mga nakadikit dyan na ribosomes. Ayan.
Yes,
So with
yung po yung mga
ribosomes
dots.
attached to its surface. Kaya pag tinignan nga siya sa under the microscope, parang may mga dots na structure. Ayun. So that is your rough endoplasmic reticulum. And it functions as in the modification of proteins synthesized by the ribosomes. And it also performs the making of phospholipids for to be used by our cellular membranes. Ayan ang
Yes, yung
role ng
important
ating rough
component ating
ER.
cell membrane. Okay?
Membrane.
So, kaya rin, Tutor Tony, may naka-attach sa kanyang ribosome eh. Kasi, after gawin ng ribosome yung protein, itatransport naman sa kanya, ibabato sa kanya, and then imomodify niya or lalagyan niya ng iba pang molecule like your carbohydrates. So, yun ang function
Okay.
ni rough ER. Next, we have our smooth
Smooth.
endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth. Oh, kinis ha. Sana all, di
Kinis,
ba,
sana
sir?
all.
Smooth. Sana all smooth. So, yung
Yes,
smooth
because
ER,
it has no attached ribosomes,
yan,
ma'am.
kaya
Tama.
ano siya, kaya smooth. Pero ano pa rin siya,
Smooth na
kadugtong
smooth.
naman siya ng rough ER. Okay?
Yes.
So,
Kumbaga, hindi sila magkalayo. Kumbaga,
yes.
continuous complex po siya.
Malalaman mo lang na nasa smooth ka na kapag wala ka nang nakikitang ribosomes. And dahil
Yes.
wala siyang ribosomes, hindi siya involved in any protein modification. Pero Tutor Tony, marami siyang important functions.
Okay. And isa-isahin natin, Tutor Wendy, no?
Yes,
First
yes,
function
Tutor
niya
Tony.
ng smooth ER is the production of carbohydrates, lipids, and steroids. Very important din siya, no? Pag-detox. Wow. Detoxification of drugs and toxins. So parang siya yung pinaka-liver ng ano no ng cell na
Yeah, it's true.
detoxify. And then finally, it serves as the important storage ng mga calcium ions naman sa mga regulation ng mga pumps natin, 'di ba, sa biological system.
Yes, okay. So, correct. So, ang dami rin naman yung function, di ba, sir? Kahit hindi siya involved sa protein
Protein
modification.
modification. That's right. So that's your rough and smooth ER. What's the next, ma'am?
So, the next is our Golgi body. So, it is also called sometimes Golgi complex or
Yes,
Golgi
ma'am.
apparatus. Okay, so,
So
pag
para
tinignan mo daw
siyang
siya,
nagugutom na naman ako. Para siyang
yeah.
pancake, ma'am.
Ito ba? Pancake naman daw
Pinagpatong-patong na
ngayon.
pancakes. Yes.
Patong-patong na pancake. So, membranous din siya. Marami siyang membranes. Mukha lang siyang patong-patong na pancake. But actually, these are sacks of membranes. Okay? So, ang kanyang function,
Taga-sort, ayan, taga-tag, taga-package. Parang sa factory, di ba yung mga workers, sila yung final na bago
Oo,
maging
sir.
final product sa kamay nila dadaan or specifically sa mga machines minsan kapag sobrang advanced na ng isang factory. So they sort, they tag, they package, and distribute lipids and proteins. So after packaging, distribute na, ready for distribution, ready for use na.
yes.
Diba?
So, Tutor Tony, pwede yung i-distribute. Pwedeng kasing ginagamit lang sa loob ng cell yung mga materials or pwede rin naman na i-transport siya outside of the cell and trabaho siya ni Golgi
Golgi,
body. Okay,
which is
so steam
present sa animal at saka plant
both
cell.
animal and plant cells. Okay,
Yan. So,
next,
konting
we have the lysosome. Ang dami, no? Ang daming organelles, sir. So, the lysosome is a spherical body containing digestive enzymes. So, siya yung parang nagsiserve na digestive structure sa ating cells.
Because it digests cellular nutrients, it also breaks down worn out or damaged organelles, na kaya napaka-importante sa parang taga-repair din, di ba? And it breaks down the worn out damaged organelles. And it aids in a very important process called apoptosis, or yung tinatawag natin na programmed cell death sa mga cells.
Yes. Kasi Sir Tony, kapag yung cell ay damage na siya, hindi na siya talaga kayang i-repair, meron siyang kakayahan na self-destruct. Oo, self-destruct. Medyo ano nga no? Minsan ang tawag sa kanya ay suicide body, di ba, no, sir?
Yes, the suicide bags, the lysosome.
Yes, oo. Kasi nga, kapag hindi na ma-repair yung cell, wala na talaga, it will self-destruct with the aid of the lysosome. Now, ang lysosome ay makikita lamang po sa animal cell. Wala siya sa plant cells.
Plant cell.
Yes.
And
May iba, may iba siya counterpart.
And that is, ayan po. So for the next organelle would be the chloroplast. Bilisan lang natin ng konti, Ma'am Wendy.
Yes, Tutor Tony. So the chloroplast contains the pigment chlorophyll. It is the site of photosynthesis. So important din yan, Tutor Tony, kasi itong photosynthesis, this is the food producing process sa ating plants. Okay? So the chloroplast is only found in photosynthetic cells like your plant cells. Wala po yan ang ating animal cells. Okay? So next, we have our vacuole.
The vacuole.
Yes, so the vacuole, a large space within the cell that is enclosed in a membrane and filled with fluid. Okay, so ang kanyang function is to maintain water balance, cell shape, and storage din po ng nutrients and waste products. Yes. Okay. So, Tutor Tony, yung vacuole, pag nawalan niya ng tubig sa loob, nagsishrink yung cell natin. Halimbawa sa mga plants, yan yung point na magiging lanta na yung ating halaman. Kaya magagalit na yung ating mga nanay na plantita kasi hindi natin diniligan. Yes. Okay, and then we have the last one. We have
finally the cytoskeleton.
The last structure, we have the cytoskeleton. So these are made of
skeleton, yes, parang framework.
Backbone of our cells. So
it provides shape and structure. It allows movement. And of course, it involves in the formation of the spindle fibers, di ba? Or the spindle apparatus during kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng cell division, kapag kailangan na mag-divide ng ating mga cells. And those are the organelles, Ma'am Wendy.
Yes. So, Tutor Tony, tingnan natin kung nakikinig ang ating mga viewers.
Yes, let's proceed with our activity.
Apply natin sa ating learning task. So, ang gagawin lang ng ating mga tuties ay i-identify yung structure or yung organelle. Ibibigay natin yung mga alias or nicknames nila. Kung nakikinig kasi kanina, inaano naman natin siya di ba? Nabibigay din yung iba. So, ready na sana yung ating mga viewers. Type in your answers sa ating comment box. So, ready na kaya sila, Tutor Tony?
I think they're very much ready. Let's just make this quick lang, ma'am.
The first organelle is known as the brain of the cell.
So, reminder sa ating mga senior high school learners to type in the item number, kunyari number 1, tapos ano yung sagot ninyo. So, number 1 is, say, for example, 1, ribosome. Yan. So, bigyan natin silang sample, ma'am. So, number 1, the answer is, of course, our brain is the nucleus.
Nabanggit nga yung kanina ni Tutor Tony. Okay, for number 2, ano kaya yung tinatawag na subway?
The subway system. So, para siyang interconnected, di ba, body na nakasurround or malapit sa nucleus natin kanina.
Okay, so ano kaya ito? So, we have the endoplasmic
reticulum. So, pwedeng umabol lang sagot, our senior high school learners.
Yung mga
Third
sagot.
item, ma'am.
Third item, the garbage collector, tagakuha ng basura.
Ayan. So tama
Ano
si
kaya yung mga
Edelme
pinag-uusapan?
Palma. Number
Mhm.
2, endoplasmic reticulum. Kier
Yes. So,
Cantero, you're also correct. Number 1 is nucleus. Ayan, ayan na yung magpaparamdam na yung mga
yan na nga.
Andromeda.
Ngayon dumadating ang ating mga answers, no?
Ayan.
Medyo
Okay,
tight
let's
tayo sa
have
ating
number
schedule.
3.
We
Yung
have
mga
the
suicide bags natin. Ayan,
yes,
our garbage collectors, the
taga-collect ng basura.
lysosome.
And then
Habol
number
tayo ng
4,
sagot ha.
ito, di ba?
Security
Kanina
guard.
nabanggit ko yan, sir. Nabanggit mo si
Yes.
Manong Guard kanina. Kaya
Opo.
i-reveal na natin, no? Kasi nabanggit natin kanina yan. Si
Kayang-kaya.
Manong Guard ay
The
si
cell
cell
membrane.
membrane. Okay, number 5, we have
Number
the
5,
protein
our
factory.
tagagawa ng mga proteins natin. Siyempre, yan
Mhm.
ang ating
Ribosome.
ribosome. Number 6
Ng
is, of course,
powerhouse.
powerhouse, the energy provider ng ating
Energy.
cell.
Yan.
Ayan,
Okay, we have
sumasagot sila.
that. Oo
Good job,
nga,
guys.
bilisan niyo. Grabe.
Good
Ang
job,
bilis
good
lang,
job.
bilis lang. Oo,
Number
pasensya na.
6 is mitochondria.
Sagot
Number
lang kayo.
7
Sagot.
is
The mailman.
taga-mailman. Sino kayo yung taga-mailman? It serves as a
Oh, mailman.
mailman.
Nagde-deliver
Taga-transport,
yan.
taga-deliver.
Sir, nagde-deliver,
That is your,
taga-transport. Okay,
that
we
is
have
your,
the
the Golgi
Golgi
body.
body. So,
Alright.
si tag, si sort, si deliver. And then last one, cafeteria. So, pag sinabing
Cafeteria.
cafeteria, pag sinabing canteen, ang unang pumapasok sa isip
Mhm.
natin siyempre ay pagkain. So,
Oo.
pagkain daw, food.
Nakakamiss yan, ma'am, sa face-to-face, no?
Oo,
Lahat ng
sir.
favorite
Kasi
place.
ano, namimiss natin
Cafeteria.
mga luto sa canteen. Ba't
Hindi
kaya
lang
ganun?
estudyante, pati teacher.
Kaya nga,
And the
sir. So,
cafeteria of the cell,
of
specifically the
course,
plant
diba?
cells, of course, are the chloroplasts.
Kasi nga, di
Because
ba,
they contain the chlorophyll.
chlorophyll. Now, sir, ito, common tong pinapagawa ng mga teachers, di ba? Yung cell
Yes.
model projects natin. So,
Ayan, so
ngayon,
listen up.
marami na mga
Listen up,
ideas.
guys. Sa ating mga STEM learners or hindi man siguro, may project kayo before na cell model using pwedeng food, pwedeng recycled materials, baka may naitago kayong photo. You can share that to us sa ating sa ating mga tutors, kay Tutor Wendy, kay Tutor Eric, saka sa akin. So i-email nyo lang yan or ipopost nyo yan sa amin or message nyo sa amin via Facebook Messenger. So i-flex,
Sir, pakita
sabi
ko
nga,
dito, oh.
ayan ma'am,
Pwede
i-flex
i-send,
nyo, yan. I-flex natin ang inyong mga cell model or yung parang pinaka,
yung kanilang mga projects, sir, na cell
yes,
model.
mga projects.
I-send nyo sa amin, ha, and then i-feature namin siya sa mga susunod naming
Yes.
session at saka sa mga social media pages. At saka, Tutor Tony, di ba, pumipili din naman tayo ng ating mga students or tuties of the week. Baka may
Yes.
mag-send ng kanilang magandang project, no?
Oo.
I-feature natin sila as student of the week. So, aasahan namin yun, ha? Naka-flash dyan
Correct.
kung saan mo pwedeng i-send ang inyong mga gawa.
Outputs. At saka photos. Ayan.
Tutor Tony, nandiyan po ba si Tutor Eric
Tutor
para sa
Eric?
ating video?
Are you still there?
Tutor Eric, for our final quiz.
Ayan, nandito na po ako, Sir Tony and Ma'am Wendy. Ayan,
Make this
tignan
quick
natin
lang po,
ang
Sir
atin.
Eric, no?
Okay,
Let's
so
make this
number
quick lang
1.
kasi
Okay po. So number 1, and which of the following statements is true in the conformity of with the tenets of the cell theory? Is it A, cells arise spontaneously through a process called abiogenesis? B, the cell wall can be found in all living cells? Or letter C, the cell is the basic unit of life? Alin kaya dyan ang nagpa-follow ng tenets ng cell theory? Of course, ang ating answers dito would be letter
Ayan.
Okay po. Okay, it will be letter
C.
C. The cell is the basic unit of life. Letter A is not the possible
Ayan.
answer because abiogenesis is also known as spontaneous generation. Ang life ay maaaring mag-arise from non-living things at ang cell wall naman ay nakikita lamang sa ating plant cells and some
Okay.
bacterium.
At ang ating mga participants ay tama. All of them answered C. Question number 2.
Question number 2. According to the cell theory, all living things are made up of cell. This tenet is a product of the work and research of which two scientists? Sino kaya ito? Is it A, Hoek and Leeuwenhoek? B, Schwann and Schleiden? Letter C, Schwann and Virchow? Or letter D, Schleiden and Virchow? So sino kaya? Siyempre, ang ating answer ay letter.
Sa plants tsaka sa animals. So letter
Plants at animals. Letter B. It's Theodore Schwann and Matthias Schleiden.
Leiden.
Okay, dito naman sa
Number
ating
three.
number 3, Rudolf Virchow's observation was instrumental in disproving which widely accepted belief during his time. Is it letter A, atomic model, B, evolution, C, gravity, D, spontaneous generation? Parang nabanggit ko na ang answer dito kanina sa number
Yes, and the
1.
answer is
At ang answer is letter D. Spontaneous generation, or also known as abiogenesis.
search ako, te.
And number 4, organelles can be found in the blank of the cell. A, cytoplasm, B, mitochondria, C, nucleus, or D, ribosome. Saan kaya nakasuspend ang ating organelles? And our answer is cytoplasms. Organelles are membrane-bound structures that are suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell.
And finally, number
Okay,
5.
and finally, number 5, which of the following organelles is not found in a plant cell? Is it letter A, cell wall, B, lysosome, C, nucleus, and letter D, vacuole?
So which
Ayan.
one is not found? Letter
That's letter B, lysosome.
B.
At ang
Ayan.
nag-compensate sa kawalan ng lysosome ng plant cell ay letter D, yung vacuole, by taking
Vacuole.
up yung ating mga toxic materials.
Ayan, okay.
Ayan. At
And
syempre,
before
bago
we
tayo
end,
magtapos ngayon, ayan, let us
take it away,
read
sir.
the word from Holy Goliath. Ito siya ay isang character sa isang lumang movie. So, ang sabi niya, any work I do, I think is important. Like acting, there are no small parts, only small actors.
small
Parang dito sa ating mga cell organelles, kahit iba-iba sila, taliliit sila, meron silang mga functions na kine-carry out para kapag-function ng buo ang ating cell. And likewise, parang tayo sa ating mga pamilya, meron tayong iba't ibang role sa ating bahay.
Role.
And minsan, ang role natin ay tagahugas ng pinggan sa ating bahay or tagatapon ng basura. Minsan parang lysosome tayo, no? Okay lang yan because it contributes doon sa ating pagpa-function ng ating tahanan. And of course, for our family.
I agree, Tutor Eric. Napakaganda ng ng relationship na relate natin sa cell and then sa different responsibilities natin sa bahay. So don't forget to watch our hashtag Team Mahusay, our senior high school tutors for science this first semester. We have safety and first aid, Gen Chem 1, Gen Bio 1, and Media and Information Literacy. Abangan niyo po ang ating mga tutors. And we will see you all next week. Thank you very much.
Opo, salamat po sa panonood.
Yes, so once again, this is Tutor Tony.
And this is Tutor Wendy.
And I am Tutor Eric. Kami ang
Ayan.
inyong mga tutors para sa General Biology 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for
See you next
watching.
week.
Yes.
See you next week. Bye. God bless.
Andromeda, next week ulit.
Bye.
Bye!
Ulit, 4:40 to 5:20. Thank you
so much.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETULay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETULay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETULay!